Hello, fellow detectives. Before we get into this episode of Treachery, please remember I am judging these players based off of an edit of this TV show. Their devious deeds do not define them as total people, so please don't send them any hate for being up to no good, for that is the name of this game. Enjoy the episode. We know the results of Death Row, but is time up for one of our traitors? Welcome to another debrief for Traitors Australia Season 3, Episode 5. This is Treachery. Hello, fellow detectives, and god dang it, I'm mad today that I was unfortunately correct! I'm so annoyed that our dearly departed next victim of our traitors, the one that did not survive Death Row, is unfortunately Gamble, who you probably know is one of my favourites from this series. And I am so annoyed at our traitors that they were like, we need to get rid of her, she's unpredictable. Because I'm sorry, but that makes no sense. Keep the unpredictability. I'm really, really annoyed at this outcome. Truly I am. But I do suppose on the plus side, we did get probably more screen time of Gamble post her demise than we have while she was in the game. And at least it was the most iconic exit we have seen thus far in the series, which, if you ask me, is fitting for a real housewife. But I do believe she deserved more actual screen time, so I'm a tiny bit annoyed at our traitors for killing her off quite so soon. But it has brought another Real Housewife to the front of the queue, which we will talk about a little bit later. Plus, we are going to get into that challenge, because how are these faithfuls not winning more money? Oh, I don't know, you guys. This is not looking good for that prize pot. And speaking of not looking good, I'm a little concerned for Alex, because our traitors are finally turning on one another. But will it work, or will it all go up in flames? Only time will tell. But let's get into breakfast quickly before we move on to that total mess of a challenge in terms of how much they won. Breakfast I thought was interesting because we literally had Kirby playing in people's faces. And I'm a little worried that she's getting a little too comfy. Both her and Alvin, to be fair. And yes, there is power in numbers. But are they getting a little too comfy in their role as traitors? I think perhaps they are. I feel like Alvin's skating by, and we'll come to Alvin because there's a bit of a moment at the round table. They've just kind of been quieter, and I think our faithfuls are a little too in dum-dum mode to realise that there's a survivor player in their midst who is a traitor, and it's not AJ. But I do think they need to be careful with how comfortable they're becoming, because it's not... Complacency never ends well with the traitors, and that is where those two are heading real quick. I would say the other interesting thing is just how outspoken Chrissy is in this entire episode, but also at breakfast, because I feel like Chrissy, after voting a particular way at the last round table, has finally woken up to the game that she's in. No disrespect, Chrissy. And I feel like she's finally stepping into the woman I kind of expected her to be from her time in Housewives. And it's really, really fun to see. I'm actually really glad that finally someone is trying to step up to the plate and actually put some work in with these roundtables, because at the moment they're still all being sheeple, in my opinion, and that's just not going to work. I mean, we did kind of see them be sheeple again in this episode, but I feel like it is a little different. Let's get into that challenge. So we saw that this episode's challenge was based around a funeral memorial service for dearly departed Gamble. But this one had a twist, because the traitors had selected 5 players, or should I say 4 players and 1 traitor, to take part in this mission, which meant putting their fellow players on different funeral-themed plinths as to which of the, I think it was 7 deadly sins our traitors thought they represented. And this challenge was an absolute bust in terms of them not winning any money. But it did give us some wonderful moments, primarily because they had to go and pull their fellow faithful out of the church service for Gamble. And for those of us that are reality TV nerds, I'm pretty sure that the overuse of Amazing Grace, if my memory serves me correctly, is a callback to Gamble's time on Celebrity Apprentice. So I'm just going to leave that there. Fun little nugget for those of us who have enjoyed watching Gamble's journey on various reality shows. And do you know what? I enjoyed this task, but I just cannot believe that even with a traitor in their midst, Alvin, do you have short-term memory loss, my love? Because you really didn't help your fellow faithful in getting any of those answers correctly, clearly. So, that's a bit awkward, isn't it? However, I think the most interesting part of this is not the deadly sins with the funeral plinths. It is the fact that Gamble left her shields in her will to Kira, Tully, and Chrissy. This one was only a small bit of a surprise, because I would expect our housewives to work together, and that is what Gamble did upon her exit for Chrissy. But Kira and Tully are the surprises for me, because we haven't really seen Gamble be that close with Tully, so that was a surprise. And Kira, given how loud she is, I was a little surprised that Gamble gave her a shield. The fact that only Kira got a shield, though, because she was only the sole person left that was correct in that church, aside from Alex and Rob, is pretty shocking, because that has really worked in the Traitors' favour, because it means they know the only person with a shield is Kira. Everybody else is fair game. That's not good. That is not good, because they have been after Rob for several potential murders, and I think a lot of the other boys that were part of LSD are in trouble. So, yikes. But after the break, we will get into that roundtable, because we have a lot to unpack. I'll see you in just a second. Welcome back, fellow detectives. It's time that we dive in and talk about an explosive roundtable. So I hope you're ready, because not only has Dicko's boy band fallen completely to shreds, they've kind of turned on him a little bit by keeping their knowledge to themselves, as we saw pre-roundtable. But more than that, one of the twins, Josh, has called out Alvin. Oh my god, someone's finally on the money. But, of course, it doesn't work out that way, does it? No, that would be too easy. Instead, we see a lot of people going for quote-unquote bad faithful, which I don't disagree with, Dicko. I think, to be fair, given the way that Dicko is playing the game, and again, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to play this game, because quite rightly, Dicko did say, who am I to be told how to play this game? I think they needed to get him out of the way to actually get to some traitors, because the thing is, Josh is bang on the money with Alvin, as we all know. But to have someone finally speak up and say it, I think is a revelation on the right path for our faithful. Will they get a traitor? I am unconvinced, but I mean, they've come close to it. Very interesting seeing Chrissy go quite so hard for Dicko. I personally believe, and this might be a little controversial, that Dicko's game plan with having the boy band was sort of screen time based. I don't know, maybe controversial, but that's just how I feel. Because having a group like that, unless you are hunting traitors, makes no sense in this game. But Dicko has fallen, and I think our group is very solidly rattled. I am just gobsmacked at this round table. The tension is going up and up and up and up. And what was interesting is we didn't see our traitors turn on one another. I think they were so shocked by the chaos that unfolded as well that maybe they just went, you know what, we're good, everyone's going for Dicko, we'll just take a back seat. And that was probably a smart move, because you don't want to press the alarm too early. Do you know what I mean? So there you have it, my fellow detectives. A little bit of a shorter episode today, but we will be back very soon with the full episode 6 recap. So just hold on tight. There is more Traitors to come. If you have enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend and leave a 5-star rating on whatever podcasting app you're listening on. Plus, you can come and say hello over on YouTube in the comments, or leave me a comment on socials. Tell me your thoughts and feelings about that roundtable, because I would love to know. And you can now watch the video episodes on Apple Podcasts, which is very, very exciting for me. So you can watch the video over on YouTube, Spotify, and now Apple Podcasts. How fun. Thank you for being here, fellow detectives. I will see you again very, very soon. And in the meantime, stay safe out there. It's treacherous. I'll see you soon.